when this wonderful constitution did not exist. The Moi Kibaki government is the first Kenyan government in history of Kenya. The government which had a heart of Kenya, because you see, a government is just like an individual. It has a mind and a consciousness. So the colonial government consciousness was extractive. It was not in investment and in growth, because they don't have to grow you, they are just going somewhere else. So in a sense, Kenyatta one, you couldn't also call that 100% extractive government, because Kenyatta set up industrial production fairly well. But since then we moved, then we arrived at Kibaki. A purely Kenyan government concentrated on fixing this country, and it grew the economy tremendously. If you look at the World Bank report to anyone, the best. Now, 2013 was the opportunity to continue the Kibaki growth. And I think the only way that thing would have been continued was the election of Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka. In that election of 2013. It was a mistake, a huge mistake, by the Kenyans themselves to have elected Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto in 2013. That is where we went wrong. Because Uhuru left the trajectory, he left the vision in 2013. He started borrowing allegedly as Mbiroti loans, but if you compare his loans and the Kibaki's, it's like his was being brought in with gold, while Kibaki was building with the silver. In other ones, there was no serious exaggeration in the Kibaki loans. Tender exaggeration for tenders, but it is set in 2013. So the problem you're having now is basically the government, which was formed in 2013 and 2017 on steroids. That's the one now, which is operating now. Right. But otherwise, that's where we lost it. At that time, I think those two fellows, because of their age and so on, and the fact that one of them had a history of fighting for good governance, they would have been careful to overly steal. Okay, assuming they still maybe still, we don't know, but they would have been careful. They would have done it in moderation. So it was not in that in moderation. I mean, she has mentioned the COVID heist and all that. When people are dying, you are robbing them. You understand? If you look at, and I would like her to send me that in data, I can use it in my research. Okay. So the Kenyans, they need to look at the history of people before electing them. Okay? And you know, I don't know if I tell you this. You see where I come from? We actually have an issue. We don't usually, during check, it does not give poor people leadership positions. Because there is a belief, cultural one, that poverty is not in your pocket, it's in your mind. So if you are desperately poor, even if we give this whole country, you'll never be satisfied. You continue stealing. So one of my selling points when I was campaigning for Uhuru Kenyatta in 2013 was that his father stole for him, so he would not steal. But that didn't happen. It didn't happen like that. But now you can see that the logic in Imero, you can see it's running out, because, I mean, you can see it live being demonstrated. Because the people robbing you, they're not exactly poor, but they have no heart. You see what happens, what the Mero's cultural, they stress, is the ability for the leader to feel the pain of the people they are leading. Okay? Right. The theory is that when you are very miserably poor as you grow up, okay, and your father was also poor, that you developed a concept of survival, okay? And the concept of survival denies you something called empathy. So now you don't have that feeling. You can't be moved. You can't be moved by misery of another person. That empathy, once it goes, is a primary thing in leadership. Once you don't have that one, you are not properly human. Okay? Now, in your mind, life is a struggle. So you don't empathize with her when she's struggling, because that's what shouldn't be happening. That is what is normal. That is why next time somebody comes and tells you they didn't wear shoes, I don't know, they were like this, please run from that person.
And Prof,